They were twin brothers, Jack and Jill, who grew up inseparable. From their first steps to their first scraped knees, they did everything together. They were raised by a single parent after their mother tragically passed away, giving birth to them. Despite the tragedy that marked their beginning, their childhood was filled with laughter and shared secrets. They shared a bond stronger than Wi-Fi in a coffee shop, a connection that nothing, it seemed, could ever break. As they grew, so did their friendship. They navigated the awkward teenage years, aced their exams together, and even went on their first double date, which predictably was a complete disaster, but a hilarious story they'd retell for years. When they turned legal, they made a sacred vow. A pact sealed over a couple of fizzy, lukewarm sodas because they couldn't afford anything else. They promised to drink a beer together every single Saturday, no excuses. It was their ritual, their unbreakable tradition. It wasn't just about the beer, it was about the time together, the check-in, the guarantee that no matter what, they would always have that 1 hour a week. For a few years it worked perfectly. Every Saturday, you'd find them in the same corner of the same old pub, catching up on life, love, and everything in between. It was their anchor in the ever-changing sea of young adulthood. But life, as it often does, had other plans. Work, that great separator of friends and families, came calling. Jack, a brilliant engineer, got an offer he couldn't refuse in one country. Jill, a talented artist, was awarded a prestigious residency in another, on the opposite side of the globe. Suddenly, thousands of miles of land and ocean lay between them. Their weekly ritual, their sacred vow, seemed impossible to keep. How could they drink a beer together when they were a world apart? The thought of breaking their promise was a heavy weight on both their hearts. Jack, determined not to let their tradition die, decided he'd honor it alone, in his own way. Every Saturday night, like clockwork, he'd walk into a cozy little pub near his new apartment. He'd approach the bar, catch the bartender's eye, and say, "2 beers, please." He'd take the 2 frosty mugs to a quiet table. He'd place one in front of his empty chair and one for himself. He'd raise his glass to the empty seat and silently toast his brother, imagining Jill doing the same wherever he was. The first beer was for him, and the second one, that one was for his twin. The bartender, a friendly but observant man, noticed the routine but politely said nothing, simply nodding as he served the 2 beers week after week. After the 3rd week, the bartender's curiosity finally got the better of him. As he wiped down the counter, he leaned over and asked gently, "Excuse me for asking, but I've noticed you always order 2 beers. Why 2 beers every time?" Jack looked up from his mug, a warm smile spreading across his face. He wasn't offended. He was happy to share. "It's for my twin brother," he explained. "We made a vow to have a beer together every Saturday. He's working overseas, so I drink one for me and one for him. I'm keeping my vow. The second beer is for him." The bartender's face softened with understanding. It was a beautiful tribute, a testament to a bond that distance couldn't break. Months turned into a year, and the seasons changed outside the pub's windows. But inside, one thing remained constant. Every Saturday night, Jack would come in and order his 2 beers. The bartender and the regulars came to know his story, and a quiet respect filled the room whenever he sat down at his table for 2. But then, one Saturday, a palpable change occurred. Jack walked in, looking the same as always, but when he got to the bar, he held up a single finger. "Just 1 beer tonight, please." A hush seemed to fall over the bar. The bartender's heart sank. He poured the single beer with a heavy hand and brought it over to Jack's table. He leaned in, his voice a somber whisper. I know your vow. I'm so sorry for your loss, your brother." He couldn't even finish the sentence. Jack looked up, his expression completely deadpan. He took a long, slow sip of his beer, letting the suspense hang in the air for just a moment longer. Then, a slight twinkle appeared in his eye. "Oh, Jill's fine," he said, breaking into a grin. "He's great, actually. We just video chatted this morning." The bartender stood there, utterly confused, but the vow. The second beer. Jack chuckled and took another sip. Well, it's simple, really. I just quit drinking. But I am now drinking on behalf of my brother Jill. Some vows are eternal. a promise of the heart that can't be broken by miles or circumstance. But some habits, well, those are always negotiable. Remember to stay loyal to the ones you love, but also know when it's time to make a change for yourself. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this little story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. See you in the next one.